judge is telling the Biden administration to limit how much contact they have with social media platforms.
A lawsuit alleges the administration is encouraging these companies to censor right-wing content, yet some say those behind social media platforms are not doing enough to combat misinformation. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp is joining us live tonight from the U.S. Capitol with more details on this. Rachel, good evening.
Good evening, Mike and Eva. So in granting this preliminary injunction, the judge essentially describes how the administration can and cannot communicate with all these social media platforms. Now, this is seen as a huge win for some of these Republican-led states who allege that the administration is overreaching its authority. Now, the lawsuit was filed last May, but a federal judge in Louisiana ordered these restrictions on the Biden administration yesterday. According to the documents, the federal judge says the Biden administration cannot talk to social media companies for, quote, the purpose of urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing in any manner the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech, end quote. The ruling goes on to say the administration can alert social media platforms about postings involve criminal activity or criminal conspiracies, national security threats, or other threats. Now, some worry that this ruling will hurt efforts trying to combat false information about the COVID pandemic and other issues. The New York Times says the order could have significant First Amendment implications, adding that this is a major development in a fierce legal fight over the boundaries and limits of speech online. Now, in the initial court filing back in May, a handful of Republican-led states that filed the lawsuit says in part the administration has spent years to censor viewpoints and speakers disfavored by the left and content on social media platforms under the Orwellian disguise of halting so-called disinformation. But Democrats have said that the social media companies like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, just to name a few, are not doing enough to curb misinformation. Now, even though that this lawsuit names President Biden and a handful of other government officials from several different departments, some of these references that they've cited did take place during the Trump administration. Mike, Eva, back to you.